Pastor Ed here with Daily Devotions for Tuesday, April the 9th, 2024. Maybe you've heard of it. I didn't hear of it until really just a few years ago, but the Greek Orthodox Church has a really interesting tradition for the Monday after Easter. On that day, the people gather together to trade jokes with one another, interestingly enough. Why? Well, because of the belief that the greatest joke of all occurred on Easter Sunday, namely Jesus' resurrection from the dead. So in keeping with that ancient tradition, we're going to offer some Easter laughter here on the Tuesday after the second Monday after Easter. So here's a couple of bad ones. A will is a dead giveaway. Ha 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 ha. When fish are in schools, they sometimes take debate. When she saw her first strand of gray hair, she thought she'd die. Don't worry about old age. It doesn't last. I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. I just can't put it down. Here's one. The pastor was once talking to one of his parishioners. He said, when you get to be my age, you spend a lot more time thinking about the hereafter. Well, why do you say that? Asked the parishioner. And the pastor said, well, I often find myself going into a room and thinking, what did I come in here after? Here's another bad one. Young man's boss once asked him, son, do you believe in life after death? The young man answered, yes, sir. And the boss said, well, that's good, because about a half hour after you left yesterday to go to your grandfather's funeral, he stopped by to see you. And here's some Easter-specific bad jokes. Boy number one, how did you get that bruise on your arm? Boy number two, I ate some Easter candy. Boy number one, eating Easter candy won't give you a bruise. Boy number two, it will if it's your brother's candy. Question, what would you get if you crossed the Easter bunny with an overstressed person? Why, you'd get an Easter basket case. Question, why are you stuffing all that Easter candy into your mouth? Answer, because it doesn't taste as good if I stuff it in my ears. Question, what do you need if your chocolate eggs mysteriously disappear? Answer, you need an explanation. Question, how did the soggy Easter bunny dry himself? Why, with a hair dryer. Question, how is the Easter bunny like Shaquille O'Neal, a famous basketball player of a few years back? They're both famous for stuffing baskets. Question, what happened when the Easter bunny caught his head in the fan? It took years off his life. Question, how would you send a letter to the Easter bunny? By hair mail. And finally, question, what would you get if you crossed the Easter bunny with Chinese food? Hop suey. Oh, that was a bad one. Pastor's family was once invited to Easter dinner at the Wilson home. Mrs. Wilson was widely known throughout the church for her amazing contributions to the potlucks. Well, everyone was seated around the table as the food was being served, and as usual, it was a feast for the eyes, for the nose, for the palate. When the pastor's youngest son, Peter, received his plate, he started eating right away. Peter, wait till we say grace, said his embarrassed father. I don't have to, said the 5-year-old. Of course you do, Peter, the mother insisted rather forcefully. We always say a prayer before eating at our house. That's at our house, the young boy explained. But this is Mrs. Wilson's house, and she knows how to cook. Ouch. Easter laughter. It's been said that it's really an act of present defiance in light of future hope. In his book, The Theology of Play, the theologian Jürgen Moltmann equates it with the work of liberation. He says it's the laughter of the slaves who know that their deliverance is coming, if not in this life, certainly in the next. And that's why the deepest laughter is Easter laughter. It sets you free even as it seizes you. Your gut hurts, you start crying. When you laugh deeply, when you're overcome with Easter laughter, it's not a time for shallow breathing. You have to gulp the air to keep up with the joy of it. Easter laughter oxygenates the soul through and through. The wonder of Easter laughter preceded that first Easter. In Psalm 126, it said that we read a foreshadowing of it, in a sense. When the captives returned to Zion, as recounted in Psalm 126, their mouths, quote, were filled with laughter, and their tongues with songs of joy. They were like men who dreamed. They could hardly believe it. Their deliverance had come. Their laughter then echoed through the centuries, such that generation after generation, delivered people kept singing the same song as they made their annual pilgrimage to the temple. It was a song of ascent, a song of rising laughter, and it still is. When we sing out our Easter laughter today, or tell jokes like the Orthodox on Easter Monday, or the Tuesday after the Monday after Easter Monday, we join with those in history who knew the depths of hopeless sorrow and futility, only to discover that God comes as a deliverer, that God has the last laugh. Hope you have a great day. I'm sorry for some of those jokes, but starting tomorrow, I'll be taking a look at our reading from Acts this past Sunday, Acts 1:1-14. So again, hope you have a great day today. Looking forward to being together with you again tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.